Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with another Happy Monday video here. As you guys can see, was not expecting this. A really exciting preview of the 2023 Part 1. So typically, these updates are always some of the most exciting because us as players, us being in the community, we're really able to get a sense of what's going to be happening in the next 6 months to a year. Furthermore, as you guys can see on the image here, we get to see some potential new characters coming into the game, and that's definitely super exciting to see, right? It's something we're going to work towards. There's tons and tons of content in this blog post, guys, so I highly encourage you to go through it in more detail, but I'm going to be skimming and going through the big highlights in terms of what we see and what to look forward to. So before I get started, guys, I just also want to vocalize this as well. This sentence here, their acknowledgement that this game is such an amazing community and it is their privilege to obviously give us some more information on how the team is looking in terms of what's coming to the game, but as well as the feedback and that they're listening. I think that's a big piece, guys. For management to acknowledge that we're being listened is huge for players, because at the end of the day, that's all we've ever wanted, our experience in the game. This is an impassioned community, and it's definitely a very fun game to play, right? There's no way, this is the longest mobile game I've ever played, and been consistent too, and it's only seemed like the content's getting more and more exciting, but obviously there are aspects of it that's frustrating, but that's more in detail for sure, guys. They've been able to at least take in some feedback, which is absolutely huge, as well as being able to hopefully improve our quality of life through the game. So first and foremost, I just want to point out too, they want to keep the game fresh. They want to keep experimenting with different modes. So I do like that aspect. I think they highlighted here Alliance War, Cosmic Crucible being one of the more involved stages. I am a fan of both those game modes. They also talk about the quality of life, so we're going to be taking a look at that as well, and then investing additionally into the development and integration of MSF.gg with the MarvelStrikeForce.com website. So first and foremost, guys, huge update here. The next legendary character being Nova. We knew this was coming because we knew that the Masters of Evil was going to be needed for someone, and it looks like this is a very appropriate character, being a cosmic powerhouse with him. It's going to be interesting. As well, they're adding the new trait here for Nowhere. So they even commented here that we can make a few guesses about the Nowhere characters. So I do have a couple guesses, actually. It could likely be the Guardians of the Galaxy to commemorate, obviously the new movie coming, but as well, a lot of those Nowhere heist event characters could be potentially involved, right? So that would be, Invisible Woman. We have Rocket Raccoon. We got Star-Lord. I think Dr. Octopus is one of them too. But I mean, yeah, there's a few of them that I still need to bring up, but it's good that they're giving this shout out, and they may have some potential reworks and synergies there. Now, another key piece of feedback that they took overall was that we do enjoy satisfying customization elements, so it looks like they're going to be taking advantage of that, but as well as kind of building towards what they've learned over this last year with the Scourge type events and Apocalypse, and it looks like they are going to be revamping that in a way, but still similar to the traditional legendary events that we've been accustomed to. So the good news is that they made a point here that it likely won't chain into requirements for additional future content. So not as involved as Apocalypse, but good to know that they're dialing it down a notch, and so that way it does allow us as players to have creativity, to have, obviously theory crafting to create synergistic teams. So it's going to be very interesting. They also added a note here that obviously with Nova, he is going to be the second character after Red Hulk to wield a impressive battlefield effect. So maybe something that actually counteracts or removes Red Hulk. But yeah, very exciting, guys. The other addition that I like about his requirement is that they finally also acknowledge that it's going to be a Masters of Evil, X Factor, and Quicksilver, and it says any combination, so it's not going to be and or. It looks like we're not going to be forced to use Masters of Evil if we don't have to. They must have taken that feedback, because earlier on that point was definitely not as clear, but great to see that obviously here there is going to be options. Dark Dimension 6. One of the most exciting game modes, in my personal opinion, in terms of the theory crafting synergy. I've always enjoyed making my guide videos to help you guys out, but as well, just going through it as well. It's super enjoyable for me to figure out if there's, obviously better streamlined efficiencies to get through this. So absolutely huge. They love the theory crafting aspect, so this is coming to the game as well. They've also announced the concept character being Super Skrull. Now, what I do like about this image here is that it looks like it's a combination here of Human Torch and the Thing. So it's going to be interesting to see if maybe this is going to be part of the Fantastic Four meta. Potentially reworks for them. But yeah, that's just like a preview of what to expect there. But they also give us the breakdown now as well for Dark Dimension 6. So consistent what we've seen, non-legendary city, non-legendary global, cosmic, legendary, and they also do include Apocalypse for the inclusion of the legendary. So that's very nice that he's not just, excluded from anything else. Gear tier level 18 is the next requirement. No ISO 8 requirements, so that's nice to have as a bonus there. Gear tier level 18, so that's what we're going to be building towards, guys. It's great to have that that outline here, and it even says right now that they are already planning this to be very, very soon. Actually, get ready because we can start finally collecting pieces arriving sometime in the month of May. So it's coming fast, guys. It's coming fast and furious. Incursion raid. So this is really cool too. I hope this is accurate, but we can get a sense of what these incursion raids that are following the Doom raids are going to look like. Looks very archaic with the number of nodes that are available. Kind of reminds me of beta and alpha, where you can basically kind of go your own way and ensure that your team is kind of hitting the right nodes along the way. So simple, but at the same time, still a lot of nodes to cover, which is absolutely huge. So definitely interesting to see for sure, finally getting that. They're also revising it in a sense that there's going to be a combination of different character traits and so forth. So they did make a big blog post on this, guys. It's going to be consisting of a couple of showcase events and epic events. And keep in mind too, these showcase events are building on top of each other as well. So right now we actually have the Captain America World War II one. That is a sample of the showcase event. Now, they did give us some examples that they're going to be building off of each other. So the next one following, let's just say hypothetically it's Bucky Barnes. It's going to require Bucky Barnes and any of the previous showcase events. So that means it would need actually World War II Captain America as well. And then it will keep going until the end of those showcases end. But it looks like they're going to be adding to this new incursion raid with them being the invaders. And also that just chiming in that the Rebirth and Invader teams will be extremely powerful. So maybe a little sneak peek for us that we should start building them up if you guys haven't already. New Alliance War events. So another big one, guys. A favorite game mode, definitely for a lot of players, but it looks like they've actually added some reward changes as well as limited time events that run coherent with the actual festivities. So you can see here they're adding the TO gear into the components. They're adding more rewards, war supplies. There's going to be hopefully some store reworks. It looks like from the reward perspective, a lot of ISO 8 blue, which is huge, especially the level 4 side, folks needing to unlock Apocalypse. There's some events running in tandem with that. That's called the Nowhere Siege, right? So with this one, it looks like it is going to change up a couple of the war mechanics. So we can see here some temporary configuration. But what I do like about this is that, they do summarize some of the updated rooms. So the Nowhere characters will get bonuses. Cosmic villains will replace military. And more respectively, Black Order and Thanos are getting some buffs. So it's going to be nice. If they get, converted back into the meta again with the war, I think it's going to allow them to have a little bit of staying power just because they're not really used in a lot of aspects of the game now. But it is nice to kind of bring them back for folks that do have them already previously built up. So other than that, a couple changes there, new mechanics. There's some attempt bonuses that are going to be awarded. There's a tiebreaker. There's going to be some full room clear bonuses. And exhausted. I like the exhausted one because it essentially allows the defensive squad being attacked. Like say for instance, the Heroes for Hire being very, very proficient in defense. They're going to be getting some debuffs if there are attempts made. So I think it just makes it more realistic as if you're kind of grinding down a team, right? What's also cool is they're adding this Cosmic Crucible tournament style into the mix. I wonder if we are going to be getting an option to do this versus the normal 3, but I can tell they're just still playing around with this, right? So it looks like instead of 8 people, it's going to be 32, and it is going to be 5 days a week as opposed to the 3. To be honest, guys, I don't know how I feel about this because, it's additional, if it's still battling 6 times per round and then an additional 2 days, that's an additional 12 attacks. And ideally it's a lot more actual gameplay that you're doing. Don't get me wrong, I love the game mode, but this will add screen time. Hopefully the rewards are worth it, but yeah, that's the only thing I kind of feel hesitant on. On that point though, if this ties back to the quality of life improvement, it might be okay. So for example, they did make a mention here that it is about the player feedback, which is huge. and they have taken some comments for sure, which are coming actually to fruition pretty soon here. So we're gonna be able to equip multiple gear levels at once. There's a Rayge auto launcher. Now you guys, it may not be captains, but I personally really appreciate this because I know with our alliance, we're always kind of figuring out when to launch it, what works best, but it doesn't look like we have to worry about it anymore if it automatically launches at a set time. So that's huge, especially if you have all the credit keys ready to go. They're also looking to add more simulation. So this is kind of what I meant earlier. If this can be implemented with Cosmic Crucible, I think it's gonna be a lot less a lot more quality of life and a lot less screen time. That's huge. That's able to get through the war battles easier. It's able to get through Cosmic Crucible, Arena. I think that's a game changer if they can implement that beyond the raid setting, because I love it for raids, I love it for Blitz, but man, there's got to be a better way to kind of reduce that clutter so that way we are spending more time on the quality gameplay modes. There's an autocomplete that's coming for repeating events. We got inbox improvements to streamline updates. And then it looks like they are going to separate the inbox, one for messages and another for rewards. So I think that's going to help prevent confusion. Read and unread, that's already pretty standard as well. There's a claim all. But yeah, otherwise, guys, it looks like they're also extending some of the options with Mojo's Mayhem too. So that's good to know. And then overhauling the actual store in-game to make it more modern. I hope this is huge in terms of them potentially adding more relevant characters, more modernized characters as opposed to the same ones being consistent year over year and hasn't changed much. But other than that, they're just wrapping it up here with some API changes with Marvel Strike Force. We're going to get another second preview this year. I love these updates. But again, guys, lots of information here, and they are being mindful of the feedback. So I think this was a huge takeaway today in terms of seeing this. How do you guys feel about Nova? How do you guys feel about Super Skrull? Are you happy with the announcements? I'm curious to hear back, guys. But as always, I love just seeing these updates because we can expect now what's to come, and you bet now the next step will be building towards obviously unlocking Apocalypse, but now being excited for Dark Dimension 6 and beyond. So we'll see what happens with these incursion rates as well. I'll keep you guys posted as I know. Thank you as always. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.